All right, Shalom. First and foremost, do I praise glory now to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakah Kodash Bakathum. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone. And to all I can across the globe, pushing the word in truth and sincerity, I want to say Shalom. Beside Diane Noah from the great millstone campus, Chicago, with a lesson, and it just, I got watching the brother Murph, G-Man's teach what is taught. Like you said, he had a star-studded cast. The elder brother Kanasla and the elder brother Kapatazak and the younger brother Tagalog, man, they did a very good lesson. And I just want to add my 2 cents, skillful adding, land backing, whatever. All right. There's something to be said about longevity. There's something to be said about those who have experience in a particular craft. All right, and the apostles and the elders of the great millstone, they're the elders and apostles for a reason. All right, the Spirit of the Lord is really dealing with the apostles and the elders of great millstone, and us coming up in their stead and us being up under their guidance and leadership, we have come to be mini-me's, so to speak, of the apostles, man. We are an extension of Yahweh Shai. All right, humbly speaking, Lord willing, we are those men. But we didn't get that way out the gate. We had to go through our personal growing pains, especially here at Chicago as a camp. And the apostles have given us decrees and a guideline of how to walk in the faith and how to serve great men with ease. All right, what to look out for and how to be careful about handling a camp and running a camp, and spiritual, because they're going into the good fish and things of that nature, all right, the evil figs and things like that. And those things you have to learn, although they tell about One West and all the dealings that have been going on that have went on there, they have warned us and have gone through the rough work for us, so to speak, man. So they're speaking from experience, all right, about, or they speak from experience of the things that they went through, and they teach them to us, so that we don't have to go through it, so to speak. But guess what? We still got to go through it. We still got to go through certain things within our camps, dealing with certain individuals, all right? And they've seen a lot of men come and go, all right? They've seen a lot of men that be in the spirit. They leave the camp, get kicked out, whatever, and they don't be in the spirit anymore. Now all of a sudden, everything they learned is wrong and backwards, and they're the ones that invented the wheel. And the Lord, one thing that we all understand, that we entered into other men's labors. We're building on other men's foundations. All right. There's not one of us who's been in this truth, got to the truth just by their own volition. All right. This was a calling. This was an eye-opening. The Lord had opened our eyes to His truth. All right, we didn't do this on our own. Either we came by the apostles and the elders and the brothers by watching them on the internet, coming across them on the street corners, all right, in these respective cities and countries, pushing the work. All right, so there's none of us that can say that we've created the truth for ourselves, or that we have been a forerunner in getting his word across. All right? I'm going to get a couple of precepts on what is this lesson edifying. It's Isaiah 30 and 20. And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore, but thy eyes shall see thy teachers, man. All right? I know through my experience in time in this truth, and I know through this particular camp, the elders in our camp, and the brothers in our camp, they've all came into the truth by way of the Lord, but by way of watching their teachers. All right, and I'm gonna say, like, whether they got woke up by Nate, whether they got woke up by ISUPK, whether they got woke up by any of these other groups, okay? It all happened because they seen their teachers. All right? Why? Because the Scripture commands us to be on the highways and the byways, teaching this word. All right? So that automatically lets you know that you are coming in under somebody. You become a student of that particular camp, that particular man of the Lord who has been teaching the gospel. All right? Now, you may have started off watching another camp, and the Lord put you in, led you to Great Millstone, whatever. All right? Like the scriptures say, all right, like we teach, that there are going to be the elect in these other camps, man. All right? So whether you heard it from a camp that don't, so like necessarily teach the same thing that we teach or break things down the way we break it down, they're going to be elect in these other camps, man. All right? And how you woke up is how you woke up. But the fact that you woke up by watching and listening to somebody else automatically proves that you coming in under a tutor, coming up in under a teacher. All right? Verse 21, and thine ear shall hear a word behind thee saying, this is the way, walk ye in it. We turn to the right hand and we turn to the left. And that's absolutely true. When you first get woken up, man, I know in my case, man, I never heard this a voice in my ear. I never heard a voice speak as clearly as it did that day. All right, and it said, this is it. Just like that, as I'm watching the Apostles on video, man. In my apartment upstairs, living in University Park, my wife and kids, man. All right. So just by hearing that, I was already convinced. Because something that resonated in my heart. And if they weren't out there pushing the word via the internet, because I actually learned from my friends, all right, and they led me to the apostles. When I actually heard the word, I was wooed, man, and I've been stuck ever since, man. Going on, 12, 13 years later, man. All right? But because that the elders and apostles were out there pushing the work. All right, now you heard the brother Jeremiah talk about how he went to Elder Uriah crib for the first time, man. I never met these guys before. All right, the two friends who had seen the prophets over there on 95th and Halsted, they gave me Elder Uriah's number. I called him, and the elder invited me out to his home. And I went there, and I stayed there for hours, man, hours and hours. And Didn't know him from a can. Hey, like Mercy, he ain't know him from a can of paint. I didn't know their ass at all. That's back when Elder Yaki and Elder Wright had them big ass beards and the braids, you know. And it was a very humbling experience in the sense that I never heard the scripture break down, get broken down like that before. You see? They invited me in, they offered me food, they offered me rest, and if I'm mistaken, sometime later, probably a week or so later, they were offering me a place of rest where I can lay down and made me feel at home. Where did I learn this from? Man? I didn't learn that from the world. We didn't learn being brotherly and how we actually conduct ourselves from the world. We got that from our teachers, man. You see? We got that from the examples of the men that the Lord had put in front of us to help guide us and to lead us into what being a man of the Lord is all about. And one thing, I always repeat this, man. I always say this, man. I don't know if I'm a man of the Lord or not. Lord willing, I am. But I know a man of the Lord. All right, and one thing, the Psalm 51, I pray the Lord will take the Holy Spirit from us, but also not to be a bitch-ass nigga, man. Acting like we got the scriptures on our own. Acting like we learned how to grow a beard. All right? Where'd you learn the name from? Where'd you learn to go out on the highway and the byways from? Where'd you learn what the mark of the beast was? How'd you learn to break down John 3:16? How do you learn to break down Genesis 1:1? How did you know that you were Israelite? But now, all of a sudden, you came to be, you actually think that you're wiser than the apostles and the elders? You actually think you're able to carry the jockstrap of the apostles, the elder brothers who've been around laboring? Oh, men don't really want to talk about how long they've been in the truth. Well, that fucking matters, man, when you're serving the Lord correctly. All right? And not bucking up against the order. You see? And this is the truth, man. And without Yahweh Shai sitting there probably early, okay, to teach the word, how are you able to get it? How are you able to go out there and teach in the name of Yahweh Shai? You see? Your niggas turn to be ungrateful ass miscreants. Now we're in a new covenant. Now here, what's so funny is that you're trying to teach us about the new covenant. The new covenant tells us we want to be teaching our neighbors. You see? This is the bullshit that we have seen. You see? We've seen you niggas before, man. Awar, Fancy Lance. You see? You see your type. All right, the Lord is undefeated, man. All right? Maccabees, 144, scoffers, man. Mockers of the Lord. And how dare you not give... Oh, man. Hey, man. Hey, like Murph said, man, look. You better repent. All right? You better repent. With the Song of Solomon 3:1, by night on my bed I sought him whom my soul loveth. I sought him, but I found him not. You know, 'cause a lot of times, a lot of us had, we knew something was wrong with the world. We were always looking for answers. You know, we always, and me as a kid, I always wondered why the white folks hate us so much. All right, and why are we always not liked by nobody? I always wondered that, man. Even as a kid. All right, during Black History Month, man, I would get suspended from school every year. I would go out to lunch and have recess, and I'd go around beating up white people, man. All because I watched the movie Roots. You know, Mississippi Burning, you know. There's always something in my spirit that like, man, something ain't right. But nobody can tell me. I will rise now, I will rise now and go about the city and the streets. And in the broad ways I will seek him whom my soul loveth. I sought him, but I found him not. The watchmen that go about the city have found me. To whom I said, saw ye him whom my soul loveth? You see, you was looking for answers, down and out, destitute, homeless, broke. But guess what gave you hope? We seen the men of the Lord out there on the highways and the byways, man. Standing stiffly for the name of Yahweh Shemi Shai, man. All right? This is not by accident how we came into the truth. It was but a little that I passed from them, but I found him whom my soul loveth. I held him and would not let him go until I brought him into my mother's house, into the chamber of her that conceived me. All right, hey, we found the truth. It's lucky, whatever, but we found the truth, man. And we clutched on to it, man. All right, they're our kinswoman, man. This belongs to us, man. You see? And at one point in time, you ran the race hard, man. At one point in time, you agreed with what was being taught to you by your teachers whom you have seen. With Psalm 5 and 7, the watchmen that went about the city found me. They smote me. They wounded me. The keepers of the walls took away my veil from me. And the men of the Lord are here to guide you, to help you, man. To give you this truth, to walk in the ways of Yahweh Shemi Shai to the best of our ability. Okay? We rebuked, we corrected, we chastised. We also rebuilt, we restored the meekness, and we lifted up. All right? The Spirit of the Lord gives certain brothers the gift to teach and to prophesy and to break down scriptures to you. But yet now that you learned a couple of precepts, now you're the Grand Poobah or Great Millstone of Israel. You neither are ungrateful and you're proud, man. Okay? You're a rookie trying to take the spot of James Worthy, man. No, man, sometimes y'all play, what's a perfect example of Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre, man. You see? You're Aaron Rodgers, man. You had to play behind Brett Favre all these years to learn how to be professional, to learn how to handle certain things, and how to be a leader. When you got your chance, you perform for a little while, but you get proud. You see, your arrogance sets in. All right, and for the record, Aaron Rodgers not better than Brett Favre, man. And really, you're just a backup. You're a backup with a little bit of stats. But those stats don't mean nothing if you're not playing by if you're not reading the same playbook as the men of the Lord, as the men who taught you. You know? When it comes down to whether you're part of the elect or not. All right, how do you become a man of plus integrity goes a long way. You see? I've been in the truth a long time, a little bit, and I still get cussed out in front of brothers, man. And I'm supposed to have some kind of authority. That shit don't mean a goddamn thing, man. Why? Because I'm not above rebuke, correction, suspension, kicked out. You see? It's not about me, man. It's about the body. It's about the brothers, about the Lord. I don't know. I cannot pay none of the brothers back for the things they have done for me, man. I can never say I've been mistreated. I can never say I've been used. I can never say that I didn't have a voice or a say-so. All right? I can't say this ain't the truth, man. And for that, I'm very grateful of the Lord, Yahweh Shai, for bringing me to these great-ass men, man. To be in the presence of Apostle Aramlab, Apostle Rakar, Elder Taziawan, Elder Yashawamba, Elder Big Gad, the brother Barack Allah from LA. I've been down to Atlanta, watch the Atlanta brothers, man. When Yara Don was the head, man. I just came back from freaking Arizona with the Phoenix brothers, man. Eli Tazawan, the Jefferson City, Missouri brothers, man. The Ohio brothers, man. I've made great relationships and great friends in this truth, all because of the truth. I've never been mistreated by none of the brothers, man. Even when I get into it with some of the brothers, man, I can't say I've been mistreated. But here you are, a disgruntled, ungrateful nigger with money, man. And when I say money, it's just truth. Because you're not spending it right. Shalom.